In this narration, the question arises, how could the Prophet ﷺ, as a prophet, go to somebody who's not a prophet, here for example Waraqa, and get knowledge from him? This doesn't initially make sense. How could a prophet go to a non-prophet and ask this non-prophet, what's happening to me? Why is this happening? And in response, the scholars say, because at this point in time, he didn't recognize even that he was a prophet. He didn't understand what's happening to him. And this shows us that knowledge is so sacred and so important that even prophets have no problem learning from non-prophets, because the one who knows is more knowledgeable than the one who doesn't. And therefore, even our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, even though he was a prophet, but he doesn't even recognize it now, so he goes to somebody who recognizes what is prophecy. And again, we need to realize the concept of a prophet was unknown to the Arabs. It was unknown. They had long forgotten how was Ibrahim inspired and what was Ismail's message. They just knew it was Tawheed. They didn't have the concept of prophets, just like Hinduism or other religions of our time. They don't have the concept of a human being communicating with Allah. And therefore, when he didn't understand, he went to, who did he go to? Waraqa. And Waraqa is coming from a tradition, there are plenty of prophets. Right? Waraqa was a convert. We said to something that is, it's neither Judaism nor Christianity, let's call it Judeo-Christianity, right? It's his own understanding. So Waraqa understood what is a prophet. And therefore, when the Prophet ﷺ comes to him, immediately he recognizes, this is prophecy. And what you've seen is the angel that communicates with all of the prophets, and it communicates with Musa alayhi salam. And of course, he mentioned Musa because there's more of a similarity with Musa than with Isa, right? There's more of a similarity with Musa alayhi salam than there is with Isa alayhi salam. Now in that riwayah, in that hadith, Khadija says, or Aisha is the one narrating what happened. Khadija tells us the story of Waraqa, and Aisha then narrates from indirectly from Khadija that, because again Aisha never met Khadija, her conduit is the Prophet ﷺ telling as well, that shortly after this, Waraqa passed away. Waraqa died. I looked up as many books as I could in the classical references. I could not find any stories about Waraqa other than this, after his Islam. So we only have one tradition from the Prophet ﷺ when he was asked about Waraqa ibn Naufl, and he said, I saw him in Jannah wearing beautiful garments, blessed with beautiful garments. Therefore, this shows that Waraqa was the first convert to Islam, and Waraqa was the first Sahabi, and Waraqa was the first person who died of the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ, and therefore Waraqa has entered Jannah, and he is of the Ummah of the Prophet ﷺ.